Alright, I'm gonna try this again. The past few times I've like hit record and just started talking and looked over and it wasn't recording after like 10 minutes of blabbing. Uh, like a moron. Yeah, this is Odin, everybody. Good to see you. Happy Friday. I'm recording this on a Friday. Normally I record on Saturday or Sundays because that's just like a good day for me, but I'm not going to be here at my house on Sunday. I'm going to be in another land. No, I'm going to be in the Midwest, which is kind of like another land. In Missouri, visiting my beautiful daughters. And I often joke, I may even call the video this Misery Loves Company. Missouri Loves Company. Missouri Loves Company. Yeah, all packed up, ready to go. I got to catch a freaking really early red eye. Flying into Dallas-Fort Worth. Small layover into Springfield. Final destination. The girls don't live in Springfield, but live close. And then I got myself a little Airbnb just outside of Springfield. I wanted one so badly. I wanted to get an Airbnb in Odin, Missouri. As I said in my last video, there is an Odin, Missouri. It's way too small to even have an Airbnb. So, no Airbnb there. But close by in a town called Marshfield, I think that's what it's called, which is just outside of Springfield. So here's Springfield, here's Marshfield, there's Odin, and the girls live down over this way. But, you know, I'm not just going there to visit my girls. I miss them terribly. I mean, I really do miss them terribly. They have been messaging me like crazy, telling me how excited they are, telling me how much they miss me, which always warms my heart. And I tell them how much I miss them, you know, and I'm excited. But they keep asking what we're doing while we're out there, and I'm like, I don't know, you live there, you tell me. So I gotta figure out what the hell there is to do in Springfield, Missouri. And if anybody listening knows of anything, the chances of somebody watching my stupid video and knowing cool things to do in Springfield, Missouri are pretty slim. But if you do, hit me up. Actually, if you do and you're like, hey, I actually live there, hit me up. You know, if you're on the level, you know, say hey. I'll go have a beer with somebody. But I'm not just visiting my daughters. I do definitely want to spend, and I'm going to be there for a week, so I want to spend as much time with them as I can. But I also need to kind of just get a lay of the land. So there's going to be a few days where I'm just checking things out. Now I'm going to do that with the girls as well. I'm just going to be like, let's go explore. Let's go find some nature and get lost in it, you know. So anyway, I'm still trying to finish this. The chimp, not monkey, the chimp, this Howlerhead banana fucking whiskey, but we're close to finishing it. You know, it tastes good at first, and then it kind of, yeah, we're getting down there. Sorry, almost done where I can buy some real whiskey, but I'll be in Missouri. Let's see, like Missouri's close to Kentucky, so maybe there's some good distilleries down there. Like, try that. I don't want to get all shitty when I'm with my daughters, but I might have a few sips. But yeah, we'll go explore some nature. But this time of year, like, they're experiencing spring. Like, we just got dumped another, 3 or 4 inches on top of all the snowpack we already had. And luckily the temperatures were pretty warm. It wasn't sticking because it basically snowed all day today. So I'm sure when the temperature drops, my drive to the airport may be a little icy. We'll see. It's not going to drop too bad, and as long as they treat the roads, I'll take the main roads. Should be fine. But out there in Missouri, they're already basically starting spring. So it'd be a cool time to explore some nature. My only worry is in spring, like going hiking and being out in nature, is bears. Because bears are extra hungry in the spring. They wake up lean, mean fighting machines, and they're ready to eat. So that's my only concern. Now, down there, I don't think they have, the really big brown bears like we have up here, but basically grizzlies, not quite. I mean, we do have grizzlies out here. That's actually a thing, but like most of them are just big brown bears, and then plenty of black bears too. But I think down there all they have is black bears. But they have mountain lions. They have, I don't know what else they have out there. I should study up a little bit, and maybe I will. But that said, I know there's bears. There's bears everywhere, all across this great country. But whenever we're hiking, whenever I'm hiking by myself, or if I've got especially when I have my daughters, I sing really loud, and I have a deep voice, a loud voice, and I sing really loud, and then every once in a while I just yell, out into the woods as loud as I can. Which, nothing like what I just did, but like really loud, just yell. And I always think like that puts everything on notice. Most animals, when they hear something like that, they're not going to go to the noise. They're going to go away from it. So, but I read somewhere that little kids' voices and laughter and talking and stuff is actually what attracts cougars and mountain lions. So when we used to live at the property, which was all wooded all around, but whenever my girls were playing outside, I always made sure they took Leia with them. Leia was my American bulldog. She was a fierce protector and an amazing dog. She was about 120 pounds, give or take. And when she was like really in shape, she was more like 100. But as she got older, she was like 120, a little fatter. But still, she was a brick shit house, and she was fierce. So that was the thing. Like, I saw her chase a bear off of our property, but it was all aggression. The bear just wanted nothing to do with Leia. She was just like, "What the fuck?" And Leia was like, "Rah!" Just fucking went after her in the middle of the night. It was crazy. And so I was like, "Girls, if you're playing outside, you have to have Leia with you because you're giggling and being little girls." That's an attractant to cougars, from what I hear. Mountain lions. So that's the same thing when we're hiking in the woods. I'm like, okay, if their giggling is an attractant, my yelling is a deterrent. So yeah, I'll do that. Even when we're camping, even in the middle of the night, like anytime. I'm just like, just gotta yell every once in a while, especially if you got a man voice. If you got a nice, deep, resounding man voice, fucking let it roar through the mountains and put every animal in the vicinity on notice. Now that's it. That's not like a foolproof 100% deterrent. I do like seeing nature, and I've seen bears in the wild. I've never come across like a dangerous animal just hiking down a trail, and I don't want to. But on the same hand, I've seen bears in the wild, usually from a pretty good distance, and usually they're really skittish. They're like, "What the fuck are you?" And they run away. But nonetheless, the one thing they always tell you is wild animals are unpredictable. So anyway, all that to say, like, I want to go hiking with the girls, or want to explore some nature, see what the nature is like out there in Missouri. Never been in that part of the Midwest. The closest I've been to Oklahoma, and I've been to Nebraska, I've been to Iowa, Indiana, like all these kind of areas, but kind of like rural. But I've never really like stepped out into the woods or into the natural habitat, really. It was mostly just driving through or hanging out with whoever. So I do want to explore that. I want to get an idea, potential jobs, there's a couple businesses I definitely want to check out while I'm there. Just pop in, talk to them about their design, and see if they need anybody. So yeah, lots going on, but most of it's gonna be just hanging out with the girls. I got that Airbnb in the little town of Marshfield, just outside of Springfield. Not quite in the town of Odin, which I really wished there was an Airbnb in Odin. Odin, Missouri. That is such a town. And if there was an Airbnb there, I would definitely go there. But Marshfield is like really close. So you just like drive over to Odin. If there's any kind of restaurant there, I'm going to hang out there. I'm going to like take pictures of there. Everything that says the town of Odin, I'm going to take pictures and hang out there. And I'll probably post that shit on social media. But that said, I got my Airbnb in Marshfield, which is just outside of Springfield. And the girls are further away. But I told him, one thing we're going to do is just hang out at the Airbnb. It's a real nice one, it's got this like lush. I mean, it's just like a cool aesthetic place, potentially haunted. That should be fun. But it's got a cool like giant tub with like columns and shit. I'm excited for that. Like, not to give like too much, but I enjoy a fucking nice bath. Everyone's like a really nice bath, and that's why I chose this one. I was like, look at that shit. Look like a fucking Roman emperor sitting in that bathtub. So, but I told the girls like, hey, we'll hang out at the Airbnb. We'll eat some junk food and watch some movies and play some cards and play some games and just hang out and have fun. But we're also going to explore, see what Springfield has to offer. They do have a art museum, which is fun for me. I don't know how much the girls like it, but as long as we do something fun mixed in with going to the art museum, they'll like it. But I think it's good for them to have to go to that. I remember going to the Museum of Natural History in Denver with my dad, and he would read every exhibit. He was such a knowledge hound, and he would just like read everything. And so we would be like, all right, I got my fill of this, and want to go to the next one. My dad just sitting there reading. Like, ah. So it was a long day going to the museum with my dad. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. As a kid, you're all impatient. And you're like, I want to go. I want to go. And you look back and you're like, wow, I really appreciate that my dad loved learning. I love that he loved absorbing information and knowledge, and how much going to a museum was just fun for him, just for the soaking up of information. And so I love that. I love doing that with my girls, even when they get impatient and weird and they're like sprawled out over like a bench, like, when do we go? And I'm like, I'm still reading. So that'll be fun. Anyway, we're all packed up, all ready to go. Early in the morning, getting the hell out of here. And then, for a week, I'll be giving Missouri some company. And then we'll be back. So I'll be taking a break. I'll bring some drawing stuff because I've always got to draw something a little bit, but I don't know that I'll work on like pages. So I think everything's just going to be like, kind of in stasis for a little while. And then when I come back, we'll hit it hard. But I'm definitely bringing some comic books. Like I got this one the other day. All the way from the land down under. So he did the second chance on his own website, and wasn't there at the beginning. And so I'm excited to read it, see what the hubbub's about. There's definitely some really cool things image-wise that I like. But I can also tell like how much he's progressed as an artist. Now, one thing most everyone knows is Bancroft's background work. Because I don't know, I think he might have mentioned it sometime, and maybe other people know, I don't know. But I thought I heard him say that he had a background in architectural design, which would explain why his backgrounds are so good. And his human figures oftentimes are really good, and other times it's hit or miss. But But I always say, like, okay, hit or miss, fine, but as long as it tells the story, and all of his images tell the story. And that's the thing. So you go, oh, okay, that image maybe, because I know some of mine are a little hit or miss. As I look back, there's, it's hard to not want to go back, especially after 80 pages, and go, I want to redraw this one. And it's like, just set it and forget it. Just leave it. But, not everything is going to be your absolute best banger image. Now that said, I want to get to a point where the artwork's so tight and I'm so comfortable with what I'm doing that every image is a banger image. But and slowly getting there, I think. But we're not quite there yet. And a lot of it's so much of a learning curve when it's like the first time you're really doing it. You can learn all the things, and you go, I've read comics my whole life, and I know and I read making comics the Marvel way, and I've kind of studied how, and you can say all this stuff, but like, until it really is just like time behind the drafting board. That's really all it is. You guys got to do your time. So again, that brings me to the same point I always make, which is basically, thank you, everybody who has believed in Unconditional Shove from the beginning, because it's a first time thing, and expect it to just ramp up. And I think that's an interesting thing you'll see with a lot of these indie comics, the ones that didn't just do one and done, the ones that have ambitions to keep going, that you're going to see it get better and better and better. And the character development and the writing as well, not just the art. So if you kind of got on board with something early on, whatever it is, I'm like, shove, obviously, but whatever it is, you kind of got on board and you started getting interested, don't hesitate to pick up the next one. If you liked it, if you go, or if you just saw like a ton of potential, you're like, I can see it, and if it was just tightened up here and a little bit here, like, if you can see that potential, you're gonna see it over time, because it really is just time doing it. So yeah, I'm excited even just as a reader, I'm excited for a lot of these books to like keep the momentum and watch them grow, watch their characters grow, watch their artwork grow, watch their writing ability and their storytelling ability grow. That's what I'm really excited for. Because I'm an underground guy. Like, I like finding things on the ground floor and then watching them explode, and then feeling that sense of ownership that like you were there when it first started, as it becomes like super famous. Can you imagine people who like just kind of like on a whim bought like the first Crow or the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books? Like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And they're pleasantly surprised, and then they watch the thing grow, watch their talent grow, watch the everything about it grow. And then they were there on the ground floor. They're like, I bought that first issue off a fucking rack, or whatever, however they bought it, however they were turned on to it, that they have that claim of ownership. Like with music, it was like that. Like, you go to a concert before a band breaks, and you see them in the dingy dive bar, where everybody's like slamming into them, spilling their beers on them, and they're sitting there like rocking right up there with all these people. And then they break, and next thing you know, they're playing arenas and shit, and there's 5 feet between them and the closest audience member, And you go, but I was there when I could have basically headbutted the dude, like, I was there, right there, I love that. There is like some weird claim of ownership going, like, as an underground fan. So that's all I'm saying, is for people who are like backing books, if you could see all the potential in the first one, even if you had your hang-ups and you kind of went, this could be better, this could be better, if you could see all the potential, don't give up on it. Ride the wave. Like, you'll see some awesome stuff eventually. And I believe that's the same with Shove. you know. I think this first one's going to be awesome. I think people will like it, but I know it's just going to progress. So anyway, and then which brings me to talk about Broken Compass Comics, because James can't keep a lid on things sometimes. He is we'll work on something, and in a lot of ways, I'm kind of an early to bed, early to rise kind of person. It just life has dictated that to me, even though I'm a night owl by nature. And so we'll be writing, and we'll be brainstorming, we'll be coming up with stuff, we'll be working on stuff. And then I'll go to bed. I'll be like, dude, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up to go to work early in the morning. And then I'll wake up and he's like shared all the shit we talked about. And I'm like, okay. Which is fine. Like he got that. I play things a little more to the chest. He's just out there. So, but that said, he let it leak that we're working on a book called Kill Them Dead, and everything about this is fucking awesome. Now, all I'm doing is James and I are writing it together. He created the concept, but we're writing it together, which is always fun. Like when him and I are writing together, it's a blast. Especially when we do it like in StreamYard together, because we just talk shit the whole time. But you know, we have like a living document that we fuck with and write notes and shit. But we're writing it together. He created the concept, but then we got some amazing art behind it, and just a lot of really cool conceptual things that you know, I can't talk about all of it because it's like a lot of stuff that's so cool that like if we say it, the next thing you know, you see somebody else doing it and you're like, ah. So we kind of have to just keep it under wraps. But once it explodes, Kill Them Dead is a fucking cool book, and it's gonna be cool shit. So James has Magnificent Bastards. I have Unconditional Shove. Kill Them Dead is kind of just another thing. And there was a time when we kind of put it on a shelf. You know, we got excited about the idea and we were working on it, and then we kind of put it on the shelf. But now we're really running with it, and a lot of cool ideas coming out of it. So when I get back from my vacation, him and I are going to be hitting the ground running with that. Another really cool thing in the works that still can be talked about. So that again, James and I are writing together, which has been a blast. That's more comedy, which has been really fun. So anyway, besides Shove and Bastards, which are both like Shove, I literally have one page to draw of the actual Shove story, and then I have 2.5. This one's half done. 2.5 pages of the Cole story that's going in there before we can print Shove. And Demir has been like basically just waiting for new material to color, so he's right there. And then the letters keep coming, so yeah, it's gonna be very close. And then I know Bastards is even closer. It's like, you know, I think he's just like one more page left, and maybe two, I can't remember. But those are all like, again, the colorist kind of waiting. The colors get done as soon as they get the penciled and inked artwork. So yeah, all of it's just gonna be like, it's just gonna be a flood. And then while that flood is happening, then we're gonna be hitting the ground hard, or hitting the promotion train hard with for Kill Them Dead. So cool stuff. All that stuff is in the future. Right now, though, I am going to wrap this up. I'm going to do a final run through of make sure I got all my shit packed and ready to go before I go to bed, get up early ass in the morning and drive to the airport and head out to see my daughters out in a faraway land. It's not that far away, but it's halfway across the country. Almost literally halfway across the country. Like Missouri's like right there, dead center. Here I am in Washington. Halfway. So yeah, I'll try to post some things. I may even upload a video or two. I don't know if I record some cool shit. We'll see. But either way, if you don't hear from me, it's gonna go one of two ways. Either I do upload shit and I do report to the rest of the world, or I don't. But if you don't hear from me for a week, don't worry. I'm just enjoying my time with my daughters. So. Anyway, that's all I got. Like I said, just making the video because I won't be here Sunday to make it, and yeah, that's all I got for now. Everybody, I hope you're doing kick-ass. I hope whatever you're doing, wherever you are in life, you're just doing pure awesome. You're always striving to be as badass and awesome and empowered, kind and caring and full of integrity as you can possibly be. So until I speak again with you, take care. This is Odin, and we'll see you.